Dr. Mary Jumbelic is the former medical examiner in Onondaga County, and she's my special guest for the talk tonight. Doctor, thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
We talk about a forensic dig going on out there, deep in those woods in Mexico. What is a forensic dig?
Well, that involves multiple forensic scientists that are applying archaeology and anthropology techniques to an area where there are possible human remains, because you want to do it very carefully. Sift the ground, grit it out, be very scientific about it. In the event that you find something, you can actually put it back exactly where it was and understand how it got to be there.
What, after 20 years, if this was the final resting place of Heidi Allen after all this time, what might the investigators be looking at there? What might they find?
Well, skeletal remains last a very long time, hundreds of years. So there's the greatest possibility that there could be some portions of bone that are remaining, including teeth. Also, anything associated with that potentially could survive. Some fabrics can last a long time, synthetic materials, wounds that might be present on the bones could be identified, whether it was stab or gunshot or blunt trauma. So all of that has to be very carefully documented in place so that you know you didn't injure those skeletal remains yourself, removing them. So it has to be done carefully.
We know that a cadaver dog alerted, that's the term the state police use, twice inside this cabin, this demolished cabin, this rundown cabin out there in the woods. How accurate are those animals in your estimation? Well,
I think they've gotten better over the past 30 years. Certainly, they're very specific to being cadaver dogs, not just drug dogs that sometimes try to sniff out human remains. So there's that. They've gotten better. But it's a technique, like many, that you have hope in, but you can't say with assurance that it absolutely means that there are human remains there. You have to look at the investigative information and how good is that and how that all started to begin with. That's really where your hope is going to lie in with the investigation.
In your time as the chief medical examiner in Onondaga County, were there times where there was a forensic dig, now we're in the second or third day of this out there in Mexico, where you exhaust all possibilities and you have to leave saying, no, I'm sorry, investigators, we don't have anything here?
That does happen. I mean, there are times when you follow the best leads you have, you get the most accurate information you can possibly get, you put all of the science into it, and you search and you search and you search, and you don't find anything. That is one potential outcome.
This case was part of your job in the medical examiner's office. You always had Heidi Allen on your mind when something would be found out there. Is that true?
Well, yes. I mean, Central New York is a small area, so we keep a list of all the missing people, when they went missing, what they looked like, their size, how much they weighed, and then whenever we would find any human remains, we would do a cross comparison all the time. So yes.
And it was never Heidi.
It was never her.
Well, we're hoping for some resolution here. Dr. Mary Jumbelic, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate your perspective on this very much.